Horsens is badminton's epicenter this week, but whatever the continent, powerhouse China has a ravenous appetite for Thomas Cup glory. Only once in 22 appearances have the Chinese failed to make at least the semis, and they've been champions 11 times. From Asia to Aarhus, Britain to Bangkok, they're always the team to beat. A win today against Canada would effectively put the defending champions into the last 8 yet again. Welcome inside the forum for day 4 of action. Here is our schedule. Last few days of group stage action today, and then we get into the business end of the tournament. The quarterfinals, they take place over 2 days. That's Thursday and Friday. The semi-finals are on Saturday, and then we'll bring you both of the finals, both the Thomas Cup final and the Uber Cup final on Sunday. You'll see it all live right through until Sunday evening. The 16 competing nations in the Thomas Cup are split into 4 groups of 4. The top 2 will qualify automatically for the last 8, and we are focusing our attention this morning on Group A: China, India, Canada and Australia. Well, here is today's schedule. Momentarily, it'll be, as mentioned, China versus Canada in the Thomas Cup. Then not before 12, Japan face England. That's the men again. That one is in Group B. And then our concluding match today is an all-European affair. Denmark take on Ukraine. That's the women Uber Cup, Group A, 6:30 local time. Jill Clark and Steen Pedersen will guide you through that one.
In the tie of court number 1 between China and Canada, unfortunately we have a withdrawal from the Chinese team. So the Canada team will win the first match without playing. We will get the second match and take it.
Well, there's some big news as far as China are concerned, and that is that we've only just heard in the last few minutes that their main man, Shi Yuqi, top of the list there, the world number 1 in singles, has withdrawn from his match against Victor Lai. And let's hope it's nothing too serious. However, still a very strong squad, so Li Feng will spearhead the singles, and obviously they've got plenty of firepower in the doubles as well, with the likes of He Jiting, Ren Shangyu and others. But Canada will get the first point today without a shuttle being struck. Literally in the last few minutes, that news has filtered through. You would still think China would be favourites, however. So what about the Canadians? Well, they're actually competing in their 10th Thomas Cup. We're not going to see Victor Lai, obviously, because he is sitting on the sidelines, having heard the news that Shi Yuqi isn't going to play. Brian Yang is their second-ranked singles player, just outside the world's top 30. And the doubles players much less experienced. In fact, Shi Yuqi just walking rather forlornly in front of us here as we sit in the commentary position. Well, let's have a look then at the now revised lineup, because as mentioned, the first singles is now a walkover. Shi Yuqi is scratched, so Victor Lai will get the point for that. And it means that we'll start with the doubles. World number 5 pair, Liang and Wang versus Li and Lindemann. The Chinese pair have won both previous meetings inside half an hour. Li Feng next up for the holders. The world number 7 has a 5-1 head-to-head record against 2-time Pan Am champion Brian Yang. More doubles to follow. Her and Ren, winners of 5 World Tour titles, will start massive favourites against the scratch pairing of Deirej and Leong. And then we conclude with the second singles. Wang Hongyang inside the world's top 15 versus 20-year-old Timothy Locke, who hasn't won a match all year. My name's Trevor Harris, alongside Bobby Griffin. This is astonishing news, really, Bobby, about Shi Yuqi. We hope it's nothing serious. And, of course, it gives Canada the edge early on. They get the point. That said, when you look through all the stats, you'd still probably have to make China big favourites. But it's a big disappointment because, obviously, that match between Shi Yuqi and Victor Lai was going to be a repeat of the World Championships semi-final from last year. The only time they've met. On that occasion, Lai had 2 match points, couldn't take them, but we wanted to see the rematch.
We absolutely did. That was a terrific match in the semi-finals of the Worlds last time out, and disappointing for us all, really, because that was really the key match in today's tie, where we will get a very competitive, or we would have had a very competitive look to the proceedings. I think Canada are going to be really hard-pressed to get a point on the board across the remaining 2 men's singles, and of course the 2 men's doubles. They've both teams have made changes since their opening ties in this group, which would have been interesting, or will be interesting to see how that pans out. But such strength in depth in the Chinese team throughout. They've got Lu Guangzhou, who's not featured today, but he had a good performance in the opening tie for China. And of course, you've still got Li Shifeng and Wang Hongyang, who are going to be really tough to beat, not to mention those 2 incredible doubles pairs they've got. So, yeah, it's a shame for us all. And, you know, we're looking at the best of 4 now, and hard to see Canada taking a point from those.
I alluded to it in my introduction, that the power that China have. And their record in this competition is just ridiculous. Yes, Indonesia have won 3 more times, but Indonesia were in it pretty much from the start. China only came into the Thomas Cup in 1982, and they've won it 11 times. It's just a ridiculous record.
Yeah, 11 times, and also 8 of those in the sort of modern era, if you like, of the Thomas Cup from 1990 onwards. They've been the most successful nation by a mile in that shorter time period. Current holders, of course, and they won the Thomas Cup 5 years running, or 5 tournaments running, from 2004 through to 2012. Extremely strong nation to beat, and not just the Thomas Cup too. I mean, they're incredible in the Uber Cup as well. So high hopes again this year for China throughout. So there is, well, I think I only caught a glimpse, but I think that was might have been Victor Lai looking on. No, it's not, is it? That's the team getting set to support their remaining players in the boxes.
I think Victor will be very disappointed as well, you know. Obviously not Shi Yuqi's fault. If you're injured, you're injured. But I think Victor Lai was really relishing the chance to take on the world #1 again, because really he'd had nothing to lose.
Absolutely. Pros and cons, of course. He gets a day's rest. He can focus on training and control his environment and make sure he's fit and strong for at least their final tie in the group, which will come up over the next couple of days. But I agree with you there. He pushed Shi Yuqi so hard in that World Championships that he would have really relished the chance to have another go at the world #1 here today. And, you know, Shi Yuqi's not getting any younger as well. Over the next couple of years, I'd expect him to suffer a few defeats from the likes of the top players coming through. And I think today would have been a really good test.
Worth giving you a little bit of historical information, I think, about this competition. First held quite a long time ago now, back in 1949. It was basically the idea of Sir George Allen Thomas, hence why it's called the Thomas Cup. He was an English badminton player of the early 1900s, and he was actually inspired by tennis's Davis Cup and the Football World Cup, basically. Football World Cup started in 1930, and he wanted to come up with a kind of badminton equivalent, hence the Thomas Cup, and it's kind of gone from strength to strength over the last, what, 70 years now, and in fact it's going to be expanded again in 2 years' time.
Yeah, I was just about to say we're going to see even more nations featuring at the next outing. We're going to have more days of play as well, so it's great. I mean, whether you're a fan of badminton or any sports, what I like about this type of event is if you're a boxing fan or a fan of UFC, everyone wants to know who the toughest man is on the block, or the toughest man in the world is. In this context, in badminton, you get to see the strongest nation, male and female, around the world, and that provides us with a slightly different sort of context for the sport. And of course, it happens only every 2 years, so I think it's a really good measure of sort of international badminton.
Well, the doubles is just a few moments away now. The officials are on court, and it's Liang Wei-Kong and Wang Chung taking on Kevin Lee and Tai Lindemann. The players will be on court shortly. Slightly delayed start here on court one because of the withdrawal of Shi Yuqi from that first singles. And it means that China effectively playing catch-up here before a shuttle has even been struck. Just a reminder also, we do have live coverage available on court 2. But we are staying here for China versus Canada. Chinese Taipei against Korea, by the way, is on court 2, Thomas Cup match. Three matches on 3 courts again today. It is a logistical miracle, really, that all this manages to happen, isn't it? The first 4 or 5 days just so hectic.
Yeah, really long days. I mean, we looked at that tie on court 1 that you had yesterday morning, Indonesia and Thailand, which went on for nearly 7 hours. I mean, I came in for the second session 3 hours behind schedule, and to deal with that is impressive for the host nation, the BWF and Badminton Denmark, who are working so hard here this week to ensure everything moves ahead. You see shots there on screen of the Chinese national team sat just below us, behind court 1. Still very keen to support their players coming out in a few moments' time.
They have met before, these two pairs, and the Chinese partnership have a 2-love lead in the head-to-head, and actually both those matches have been very one-sided, so Lee and Lindemann will be hoping they can do something about that.
Yeah, their last meeting, in fact, will be 2 years ago tomorrow. It was the Thomas Cup group stages, Group A, which I know we'll talk about in a few moments, but that was their last time out, was meeting here at the Thomas Cup in 2024. Pretty one-sided, you'd have to say, in that playing history between these two pairs.
So Liang Wei-Kong and Wang Chung are making their way onto court now for this slightly delayed start. And the Canadians following on behind. Canada lost their opening match 4-1 to India. That was on day 1 of action. China no problems in defeating Australia, whitewashing Australia actually, 5-love in their first match. And that's why I said initially that a victory here for China would pretty much confirm their place in the quarterfinals. I guess if they do win here today, which we expect, then technically Shi Yuqi wouldn't have to play in the last group match, and if he needs a few days recuperation, come back for the quarterfinals. Let's go down courtside and listen into the toss.
Okay, coming for the toss. China, you get the toss. Red or black? Red, black for Canada. Black.
I'll serve.
Kevin will serve. Wrong receive, which side? You want to stay on this side? Thank you.
As Bobby alluded to, that scoreline that you saw on your screen a moment ago from the Thomas Nuber Cup 2 years ago, straight games and 25 minutes was all it took for the Chinese to see off the Canadians, see whether the pairing of Lee and Lindemann can make a better fist of it this time around. It's going to be tough, though, because the Chinese pair ranked 5 in the world, and they have actually been at the top of the shop. You can see it there. They were world #1 pair for the first time back in October of 2023. Thomas Cup gold medal already in the cabinet for Liang from 2024. He's got a couple of Sudirman Cup golds as well, and an Olympic silver and a World Championship bronze. So that gives you some idea of the task facing the Canadians here. 10 World Tour titles for Liang and Wong, including one this year. It was a big one too, the India Open in January. That's a Super 750. Only took 22 minutes to get past Hideata New. And on the other side of the net, Kevin Lee and Tai Lindemann. Lee is 27. They're world ranked 45, as you can see. They've been a tad higher. That was at the beginning of 2024. They've got a couple of Pan Am Championship silver medals. And they've won 5 titles on the International Challenger Tour. Ashley Lindemann's got 3 golds in mixed doubles too at the Pan Am Championships. I think from their point of view, Bobby, you just hope they don't allow, from a neutral standpoint, they don't allow Liang and Wong to get off to a flyer, because if they do, we know the Chinese are very good front runners. This might not last very long.
Yeah, that might be hard to prevent. I think for some of the nations where you look at quite one-sided contests, or a likely one-sided contest, I think the job for the Canadians here is to get as much experience as they can. Whilst they're not the youngest of players, the Canadians, they want to be here again. They want to be playing on this kind of stage against this type of opposition, which they don't have the opportunity to do all that often, necessarily. And learn as much as they can, spend as much time on court as they can, and use it as a developmental workshop, really, for them moving forwards.
Stand by then for the umpire introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Canada, represented by Kevin Lee and Thai Alexander Lindemann. And on my left, China, represented by Liang Wei-kang and Wang Chan. Canada to serve, Kevin Lee to Wang Chan. Level, play.
So here we go, first of 4 matches now in this tie. Oh, that was well in.
It's called in. It's called in.
That looked long from my view.
Well, that was interesting, because I think some umpires wouldn't have allowed that challenge. It's not up to the umpire to necessarily tell the player what the line judge signaled.
No, but I think Liang Wei-kang was so confident that it was long that he didn't even look at the line judge or the call.
Well, I think that's his problem.
Yes, perhaps you're right. But he was so shocked and surprised that it was called in. Yeah, you can see there, that's what I saw.
Okay.
Correction out.
That was interesting, though, because
Service over.
if you just did it on the time that he took to challenge, even though, okay, he didn't look at the line judge, either way, it's 1-love. And the right decision in the end.
Interesting call as well, because we've seen some terrific line judging this week. There's been very few successful challenges compared to what we're used to. And that one was simply a misjudgment, I think, from the line judge.
Early start, I guess. It's still only 10-9. Needs a cup of coffee to get him going.
It's a good net reply. Well,
ominous, ominous this, isn't it? We've only had 3 points, but...
It's a good word for it, because that's the danger, especially in that rotation of the Chinese. You see how Liang Wei-kang wanted to get into the rear court and allow Wang Chang to move forward. So they're in their more favoured formation. Great net shot again. He's got some confidence at the early stages of this, Kevin Lee.
1-3.
So the Canadians on the board at least in this opening game.
Service over. 4.
I think from the Canadians' point of view, I mean, if the Chinese play anywhere close to their best and we get a welter of winners, that's just the way it is. But they need to at least cut out unforced errors. If they start making those, they are going to really be in trouble.
Service over.
And there's a good example. Kept the rally alive, and in the end, the mistake came from the other side of the net.
Service fault called too high.
We had an absolute spate of those yesterday in one of our matches. Literally, I think we were nearly into double figures.
I was watching. It was the men's doubles, wasn't it, in the third game?
Yeah.
Indonesia, Thailand. Service judge was really sort of impactful in the end of the match.
And I was saying to, because the players were getting very frustrated, obviously. And I was saying to Selena Peake, who was alongside me yesterday, you know, for all we know, every single decision that service judge made was right. I mean, we obviously can't see. We don't have the benefit of those little perspex blocks that you can see in front of, who is it, Jakob Simberg in the service judge's chair today. And you have to take it at face value.
Well, I can tell you one thing, I mean, and I get this from my own playing career. Players will take every advantage they can possibly find on a badminton court, and if I...
Even you?
Especially me, yeah. I was cheeky, let's say. If I find the service judge is not calling my serve when I know it's relatively high, you will push it further and further and further. You'll take advantage as much as you can. And some service judging, if they're playing it to the limits, of course, and being very strict, then you just have to accept that, and you cannot then push for that advantage. So yeah, if you're getting an advantage from serving slightly higher and you're not getting called, you're going to keep doing it. In this instance yesterday, I think the service judge was probably bang on.
Just some news reaching us. It's been clarified now that Shi Yuqi's withdrawal is because of illness, not an injury. So I guess that's semi-heartening. I mean, we can only wish him a speedy recovery and hope he's back in action in the next couple of days. But that's the reason why Shi Yuqi withdrew, because of illness. That's long.
Yeah, not a great serve there from Liang Wei-kang. Popped up nicely for the Canadian. What I was interested in today as well, or last night really, looking at the lineups and preparing for this one. For me, this is China's strongest team and strongest format. You might look at the rankings, especially in the men's doubles, and be surprised that He Jiqing and Ren Xiangyu have been given the nod at second pair, but they've been out of the game for a large part of 2025, and for me, they're a stronger pair than is it Chen and Bo, the other Chinese men's doubles, and bringing in Wen Hongyang as third men's singles. Again, for me, I like that player. I'd favour him if I was China's team captain over Lu Guangzhou.
Service over.
I was just about to say, this is a good little spell from Lee and Lindemann. But they're keeping it moderately competitive so far, which is a good sign. You've seen a couple of errors from the Chinese pair early on here, and there's another one.
Service over. 7-9.
That's well played.
8-9.
Nice backhand drive down the line. Liang Wei-kang forced into an uncomfortable position.
Service over.
Well, he's beating himself up about that, Lindemann. He knew it was a horrible shot.
They're really trying to take and hold on to the initiative, the Canadians. Credit to the way they're playing so far for keeping the scoreline close. It's much easier to try and lift into the rear corners, but when you've got somebody like Liang Weikang and all his power and speed, can't afford to be passive, and they are not today. They've been impressive so far.
11-10.
Wow.
Well, don't think too many saw this coming. So the Canadians in front, albeit by a single point at the mid-game break.
Let's go. Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So can they keep this up, Lee and Lindemann? If they can, we've got a potential seismic shock on our hands here, albeit still very early days. Good defence from the Canadians while it lasted.
Service over.
Yeah, that's not easy, coping with the pressure when Wang Chang is dominating from the service line. I think Wei Kang has been off his game so far today. That's what I was talking about.
12-11.
Excellent pressure again from the Canadian pair.
12.
Playing way above themselves at the moment.
Yeah, and you notice when the Canadians get into that attacking position, they're putting a lot of pressure on Liang. Good variation. This is really good stuff from the Canadians.
13-12.
They don't seem awed or intimidated at all, do they, by the Chinese?
No, and I really like the way that they're adopting the attacking approach here, too. That's another wild one. That was a really poor shot from Wang. I mean, it's mid-court, and he's nearly put that on the blue carpet.
I know. Play on. Have fun. Play on.
Yeah, there's a gentleman in the audience with a light on his phone in the distance.
Service over.
He's so good at the net, Wang.
13.
One of the best in the world. That's terrific. Pulling both Chinese out of position.
15.
And a thunderous smash.
It was, and there's a little bit of communication issues for the Chinese pair at that point as well, just before the winner was struck at nearly 500 kilometers an hour.
This is incredible.
16-13.
The other thing we don't know yet at this stage is how much preparation time these guys have had. Yes, it's the same for both pairs, but that withdrawal from Shi Yuqi and the news that reached us was only 6 minutes before 8:30, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it might have been news this morning. It might have been known by the Chinese team last night that she was struggling with something, but we don't know.
That's really good. Great reactions from Wang at the net.
16.
There are just a few signs for me that the Chinese pair don't look all that prepared and organised, at least in this opening game.
So back on terms, the world number 5 pair.
Oh, they just got in each other's way. That was an opportunity for the Canadians.
16.
So 4 points in a row for the Chinese in an absolutely critical juncture of this opening game.
He's really holding this Chinese pair together at the moment, Wang Chang.
Ooh, doesn't miss many of those.
17.
Good shot actually from Lindemann, because it really dipped. Made life difficult, but still a shot you'd have expected him to make.
Terrific, Kevin Lee.
Oh, brilliant again. That time it was Lee coming to the party.
Surviving the onslaught. He was crouched in defence. I thought the rally was over. Kevin Lee did so well. Oh dear.
What a pity from the Canadian point of view. So much hard work in this game. 18 all, and then the service error is a gift of a point for the Chinese pair. Chinese doing their best to let the Canadians back in it, aren't they? Another error from Liang.
Strikes me as a very nervy game.
I was 1-1. My apologies. 19 all now.
He's done it again, Kevin Lee. Terrific.
20, game point 19.
This is the best I've ever seen the Canadians play.
Well, who would have predicted this? They've got a game point, the world number 45 pair against one of the best pairs in the world.
Service over 20 all.
Evasive manoeuvres for Wang Chang.
And evaporated almost as soon as it arrived, that game point. But still on a knife edge here.
Service over.
They just look a pale shadow of when I've seen them previously, Bobby, the Chinese pairs. Really odd. Another chance then for the Canadians.
Yeah, credit to the Canadians as well. Defended brilliantly, and they're really trying to take the initiative in the forecourt today.
21.
Really taking the match, taking the game to the Chinese. I get the feeling this is so important, this opening game. That's more like it.
22-21.
So having saved 2 game points, now Liang and Wang have one of their own.
Service over 22 all.
Sometimes you wonder when a top pair comes up against a heavy underdog whether there's an element of complacency when we see a result like this. But that's not really what I'm seeing here. They're just not playing very well, the Chinese. least in spells. Good defense, Wang Chung.
Canada challenges called out.
Well, I think they're challenging just because they can here, to be honest, and why wouldn't you at least ask the question?
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
So game point number 2
Service over.
for the defending
23,
champions.
22. Play.
Interesting, he went for the flick, and it paid off. It was a serious struggle, but they've managed to scramble across the line in that opening game. Have Liang and Wang 24-22. And the Canadians' brave efforts to try and cause a major upset, somewhat set back after this rally.
I think when you move something, it makes mistakes. Yeah. Also because of the shot
put the blade down, or you put the blade over there, or you put a bit more in the middle. You guys can stop breathing and get the cover in fun. Right? Okay, come on now. It's good.
Come on, it's good.
不想就把你我这盘下给打
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Double. Play.
Well, let's see whether the Canadian pair can keep up the kind of level that we saw in that first game, albeit ultimately for them it ended in disappointment. But they certainly won't be disappointed with the way they're playing.
They were fantastic in the first. I actually think the Chinese slightly fortunate to take that opening game. Clever shot from Liang.
I can't quite believe what I'm watching here. Number of errors from Liang and Wang, and also the pressure they're being put under.
I think he's missed.
Canada challengers called in.
Well, it's called in. We'll see what Hawkeye has to say about it, because Canada very quick to challenge that.
Same type of shot from the very first point of the opening game. Same call as well from the line judge. Let's see if it's the same result. It is.
Yeah.
Correction out. Four. Love. Play.
good serve.
Well, Canadians off to an absolute flyer here. 5-love in the blink of an eye in this second game.
Really seen so many errors from this Chinese pair. Bad luck. Nice idea.
1-5.
Stood his ground well there. Wei Kang. It's a mistake, but a positive error from Kevin Lee. The confidence to take on Wang Chun at the net is admirable. Getting in each other's way again, miscommunication from the Chinese pair.
Yeah, and it cost them.
I thought they would have settled into this second after winning the first, getting through it. They look even more rattled, if anything.
They're all over the place at the moment.
7-3.
Well, they were all over the Chinese again in that rally, but it was an inopportune moment to make that error.
It's quite a surprising performance from Lee and Lindemann for me, because over the course of the last 12 months, yes, they've played a few international challenge or international series events. They've played the Pan Am events, of course. But where they've come up against top opposition on the World Tour, the likes of the Japan Open, Canada Open, China, Macau, they've lost pretty much round one in every event to players that are more well-known, you know, top 20 pairs in the world. To be playing this well against a very strong opponent, big surprise.
6-8.
Kevin Lee needed just a touch more composure there. He's in good position. Wow, lovely.
Not seen much of that, have we?
No, we haven't. They've been looking for pace and power to try and get through the defence of the Canadians for the most part. I like that. They were looking for space instead.
So from 5-love down, Chinese pair have moved in front.
That's more like it. Keep it simple, positive. Starting to feel a bit more relaxed, I think, the Chinese.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they've opened up a 3-point gap at the mid-game break. May well be that they've seen off the Canadian threat.
Careful of those kind of shots. Right? And also be careful of Miko laying all this. The one person covered the weight, the other one.
20 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, come on.
11, 8. Play.
So let's see whether Liang and Wong can see this through then after, by their standards, a very average display. It seems as they've got on top of the Canadians now.
Much better from Wei Kang, textbook. He's terrific in the mid to rear courts, Liang Wei Kang.
Pretty much a freebie, that.
It's starting to look a little bit more like what we'd expect from the start. Last few points.
$15-8. Service over. 9-15. Young. Service over. 16-9.
That last point that the Canadians had won there put an end to a 10-point run for the Chinese.
Service over. 10-16.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
Service over. 17-11.
So the winning line getting ever closer now for Liang and Wong.
Very
12-17.
uncertain looking lift from Wei Kang.
There's still some unexpected errors coming from the two men in red.
Lovely. That's what he does best, Wang Chung.
18-12.
Really clever.
12.
Haven't seen an awful lot of that either. Trying to encourage the flat, fast game this time. Wang Chung going over the top. Really nice.
13, 19.
Please welcome the technical officials for court number 3.
It's called in.
Service over. 20,
So match points then, 7 of them
13.
for Liang and Wong.
Service over. 14.
That's a confident-looking reply.
Well, that'll do it. Certainly nowhere near their best, the world number 5 pair, but good enough to take down Lee and Lindemann in straight games. And after losing the first 5 points of that second game, they turned things around pretty quickly and pretty efficiently. But I think the Canadians can be pretty proud of their display, actually, especially in the first game.
I'd say for 3/4 of that match, the Canadians were playing almost outside of themselves. It was fantastic. But there was a spell in the second through the middle where it looked more like it was back to business for the Chinese. Took control and no turning back.
So with Canada having got the first point on that walkover for Victor Lai, China have now levelled this tie at 1 match all. And that was the coup de grace applied by Wong Chung. So the Chinese pair victorious, 24-22, 21-14, 32 minutes was all it took. Up next, our first singles action of the day, Li Shifeng of China, world ranked inside the top 10, takes on the Canadian Brian Yang in a couple of minutes. warm welcome back to Horsens and our continuing coverage of the BWF Sudirman Cup Finals 2026. You may have noticed, if you have ever been to this part of the world, some street art, plenty of it, 39 works in total, all within walking distance of each other. It's in collaboration with the Horsens Art Museum. Back inside the forum, we've reached our first singles match of the day. It's the first one to actually be played, bringing together Li Shifeng of China and Brian Yang from Canada. Just waiting for the court officials to make their way into the arena. I think you'd have to make Li Shifeng a pretty warm favourite here, Bobby, against Yang. He's got a 5-1 head-to-head and obviously a much better world ranking too.
Yes, I mean, surely the big favourite, but a lot of Li Shifeng's performances look very much played in his mind as much as they do on the court, and he is capable of struggling with confidence at times. Brian Yang is perhaps a way off his best at the moment, but is very capable, and some of the matches they have played relatively close. So it wouldn't be a massive shock if Yang today was able to overcome the Chinaman.
Well, here comes Li Shifeng, ranked well inside the world's top 10, and of course carrying the torch, so to speak, for his country in the singles today in the absence of Shi Yuqi, who, if you're just joining us, had to scratch from his singles match due to illness. So we wish him the speediest possible recovery. Here comes Brian Yang. Yeah, that was incorrect, what's come up on your screen. This is not the final singles. This is Li Shifeng against Brian Yang. Just so there's no confusion.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 5-1, they're head-to-head. Their last 3 meetings were all in 2025, and there were a good few results in the high teens. This was relatively close in many of the games.
Yeah, Lee's won the last 4, most recently the Indonesia Open a year ago. That was in straight games. He's ranked 7 in the world, the Chinese. And he was also part of that Thomas Cup gold medal winning Chinese squad in 2024. He's got 3 Sudirman Cup gold medals as well, the 26-year-old. 6 World Tour titles, the highlight of which undoubtedly was the All England, which he won 3 years ago. It has been a lot higher in the world, as you see there. He's up at number 3 back in, when was it, about 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago. Got past Banded Australia, but only in 3 games in 1 hour and 10 minutes. In the last match they played against Australia. So that might give Brian Yang a little bit of hope, the 24-year-old, who's down at 33 in the world now. He almost got inside the world's top 20 back in, when was it, 2022. Former Pan Am Games champion. He's got a couple of Pan Am Championship gold medals as well. prolific, actually, on the International Challenge Tour. He's got 10 titles. And he has made a couple of World Tour finals, lost them both. One in Indonesia and then the US Open last year. And he lost in 40-odd minutes against Ayush Shetty of India in his first match here this week.
He's played a lot of badminton in the last 12 months at a pretty high level. 25 tournaments, which is pretty much as high as I've seen over his ranking period across most disciplines, and very hit and miss.
Fabio Betto, who will be absolutely disgusted that there are no Italian teams in the Champions League semi-final. He's a huge football fan. You want to talk football with someone on this tour, Fabio Betto's your man.
Maybe one day we'll see Italy in the Thomas or Uber Cup.
Well, you never know. It's being expanded, isn't it, in 2 years' time?
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, triangle, presented by Feng. On my left, Canada, presented by Brian Young. Canada to serve. 5, double, 8, play. 4.
Well, there's an early statement of intent from Lee.
Service over. 1 love.
Please welcome the technical officials for court number 2.
Not resting on Brian Yang's shoulders here from a Canadian point of view, especially with, obviously, Victor Lai not playing because of Shi Yuqi's withdrawal. He's kind of the standard bearer now, the highest ranked Canadian outside of Victor Lai in their squad.
Yeah, and you look at the remaining lineup today in this tie. A lot more one-sided in matches 4 and 5 in favour of the Chinese national team. So yeah, I mean, if Canada do hope to get something from this tie today, Brian Yang's going to have to perform. In my view, looking at how Brian Yang got up inside the world's top 20 and the way he was performing a couple of years ago, compared to where he is now,
Service over.
I get the feeling it's not to be too critical of the man, but it's quite one-paced, his rally making. There's a slight lack of intensity at times when I think he could follow up a big attack, get in and try and make the difference, try and take the initiative a bit more. It's a little bit sort of passive, as if he's sort of going through the motions at times. And if you're going to play the top level of the World Tour, I mean, he played the Malaysia Open this year, India Open, he played the Japan Open, China Open, French Open, all in the last sort of 6 to 8 months, those types of events. And with his ranking, he's going to come up against this type of opponent, a high-ranked player, in early stages of tournaments quite often. Needs to
thank you.
Perhaps make some changes. Broke a string there, Brian Yang.
Thank you. 2-4.
That's great backhand from Lee. Kept alive well, though, by Yang. And again. Oh, that'll do his confidence a power of good.
Well, I'm not surprised he's challenged this one. I think this, it might have got a part of the line, but I'd be looking to challenge if I was Li Shifeng. Oh, well in court. I'm wrong. That was well inside.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 3-4. Play.
He's hit a few of those already, hasn't he, Lee?
Over, 5.
When he's in the mood, he can look an absolutely devastating player, but there are also periods where you just feel, I don't know if it's a lapse in concentration, where he can go off the boil for parts of matches, and it has cost him in the past.
Yeah, I mean, only from watching him play and his body language and sort of mental state on court.
Service over, 4,
that's all I've got to go
5.
on, but at times I think Li Shifeng struggles with confidence. That's my view, because you're right, at times, devastating. That previous rally, when he hit that winner from the round-head corner, he looked technically very good. Really didn't know which way he was going to hit until the very last second. It's good technique.
Got the taste for it now, Yang.
5-4.
Very consistent player, Brian Yang. Oh, it's just punch and counter punch. These smashes
6-5.
have been awesome from both players. Good touch of the net, Li Shifeng, from a low position. And again.
7-5. Wipe the court, please. Wipe the court, please. Line judge, wipe the court, please. Line judge. Thank you. Seven, 5. Eight, 5.
On my right, Chinese Taipei represented by Wang Qinli and Qingqi Chen.
Control from Li Shifeng under a pressured situation. Wonderful rally. The way he turned that around.
9-5.
And it was a really controlled jump smash, wasn't it? Didn't try to hit it too hard. Really easy hitting motion, and he knew he didn't have to go that close to the line. Half court, no problem at all.
Wow.
This is as well as I've seen him play for a while, actually.
Yeah, that was as good a cross block as he could have played. Looks very composed, doesn't he, today? Feng.
Yeah, very relaxed. And in just 8 minutes, he's helped himself to an 11-5 interval lead.
So be ready for the last rally.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
You don't have to every time to jump and do a
Coaches, return to your chairs. Back on court. (11-5). Play.
So Li Shifeng hoping to pick up where he left off just before the interval.
Well played, good lift. Contest is made more interesting for me because these two are very similar in style, almost identical
11.
tactically. And look at the sort of peaks and troughs in intensity, either throughout the game or throughout the rally even. Very similar. You contrast it to, for example, somebody like an Indonesian player, Alvi Farhan or Ubadillah, who we've seen this week. They're a lot more explosive at times.
Much better from Yang.
7-11. Play.
Oi. Good defense. It sounds like a broken string for someone, maybe not.
Well, heroic defense at times from Yang, all to no avail in the end, but...
Yeah, no broken string. But it was, yeah, heroic. This shot could not have come off much better.
Over there. On the center line. Yep. Thank you. Brian, it's okay?
Yeah, see there, for example, Brian Yang. I think he could have loaded the legs a bit more and taken that round the head, taken it forehand. A little bit too passive.
12-7.
Played a poor backhand instead. Many players would have exploded off the left leg, leapt out, been more aggressive. And I think if I was coach of Brian Yang, I think that's what I'd be trying to bring into his game in training a little bit more often.
That's a much better point. The way he constructed that.
Service over, 8-12.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly the same thing here. Gets up, two-footed jump out to his forehand corner early and attacks. Want to see that a bit more often. There we go.
9-12.
I mean, he clearly gets the value when he does go hard. We've seen some wonderful smashes from him down the line, especially from this round-the-head corner.
Players, we need to get ready quicker, right? Thank you.
Very polite request from Fabio Beto, just for them to be a little bit more speedy, getting ready to serve.
There we go again. More aggressive.
10-12.
And converts it to a point. Yeah, right in the right pocket. Perfect body smash. Ah, that's lovely.
Service over, 13-10. Wipe the court here as well.
Had a bit more time here. Feng says just hold his man, and Brian Yang expecting the lift.
He needed that point too. What was he, 11-5 up on stage? But
yes,
Yang's fighting back.
The center, on your right. Yes.
Yeah, and of course, that was the score at the mid-game break, and I would imagine and hope that the coaching staff would have been pushing for Brian to be more aggressive, because that's, for me, what we've seen
13-10
since the interval. Losing that control he's been displaying.
11-13.
16, 3, 13, 8. Four, 16.
Good rally from Feng. Length of these lifts, so important in this matchup.
12-13.
Well, that wasn't even halfway up the net from Feng. And this is a really inspired fight back from the Canadian. Just look at where this hits the net. Wow. Got that completely wrong.
I'm trying to think of how many times since the interval Feng has been in the rear court early to jump up and move forwards into a smash. And credit to Brian Yang for preventing that. That's the sort of shot instead. Feng is having to take that on the back foot, because Brian Yang's being a bit more assertive, a bit more aggressive.
Exactly what I was saying earlier about Feng going through a little period of lack of concentration or losing focus or whatever. And he's allowed Yang, albeit that Yang suddenly stepped up his game, to get right back into this.
There we go, confidence at the net, I like it. Oi. Terrific touch.
14-13. Use your foot there.
Oh, great control. Always looked in balance. Yeah, this bit doesn't surprise me. I think it's Feng that's asked for the floor to be mopped, slowing things down, breaking this momentum of the Canadian.
Thank you. (14-13). Service over, 14-all.
Just before that, I think it was 9 of the last 11 points for Brian Yang.
(15-14).
Do see this a lot from Li Shifeng, kind of almost plays in phases, just drifts in and out of a game. And he's got to stay in it now because we're getting towards the business end of this opener.
Well,
Service over,
something hit the net.
15-all.
No complaints from Li Shifeng. Must have been the shuttle.
Match won by India. 21-8, 21-6.
Good variation from the Chinese. Aggression
Well played.
levels are high, yeah. Yeah, that was well played.
Service over, 16-15.
Absolutely fully committed. First to that jump smash, and then quickly in to tidy up.
I think you made a good point there, Trevor, about
Thank you.
the phases of the game. And for me, there are periods where both players just go a little
Second
bit
court.
passive and conservative. And perhaps that's an energy-saving tactic in a potentially very long match. I was just wondering whether,
New shuttle.
with the new BWF scoring formats coming in from next January, 3 games to 15
16-15.
instead, this type of matchup, we might see a difference. It might make a bigger impact.
Well, I agree, but ironically, of course, if that were the case here, we'd be into extra points.
But I feel like both players have got on runs of very aggressive style of play for 3 or 4 points, and then they've sort of taken a step back to almost conserve energy. I would potentially argue that if the game was only to 15, these two might have just stayed at that high intensity level throughout.
Service over, 16-all.
It's a great net from Yang. Yeah, I think you're right with the physical side of things, but the problem I have with that, it affects them mentally, the way that they play. And once you lose 100% focus, I think you're in trouble at this level. So really delicately poised at 16-all here.
Did well there, Li Shifeng had gambled. He's found the
Canada
line with that
challenges.
backhand, I
Called
think.
in.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with this one. He is challenging it, Yang, but
Wipe the court, please.
I don't think he's going to have any joy
Wipe
in
the
the
court,
Hawkeye here.
please. Line judge. Wipe the court, please. Thank you.
Fabio Beto having to turn the volume up.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over, 17-16.
Please welcome the technical officials for court number 3.
Well, that was a lot more proactive from Feng.
Yeah, and this is exactly the discussion we were having. At certain points, he chooses to hit the same shot, but it's the follow-up, the speed of movement, how explosive and how energy-sapping that would be. It's almost like, I'm going to go all in here to try and win the point. And then other rallies would be less aggressive and allow the long rally to play out.
19-16.
The opponent, Australia, presented by BWF Sudirman.
Service over, 17-19.
Second game, love ball, play.
Terrific from Brian Yang. What confidence
18-19.
to play the net shot back at Li Shifeng, who was stood right there. Backing himself. And that brave net play.
Ready?
So, two very hard-earned game points here for Li.
18.
It's been a hard-fought opening game, actually, nearly half an hour. Yang has really pushed the Chinese, but Li now has a couple of chances with the new shuttle.
Yeah, it's been a even contest.
Lee, ask me early to change the shot. Like, play on. Service over, 19-20.
Good net shot from Yang.
Hit that where he wants, and 2 game points saved by the Canadian.
20-all.
Michelle Lee and co. Watching on, supporting their countrymen.
And having saved 2 game points,
21.
that error
20.
from Lee now gives Brian Yang one of his own. What a boost this would be for Canada if he could convert it.
Yeah, relatively cheap point as well. Yang didn't need to do much. Opted for control.
Service over, 21-all.
Had to work hard here. Li Shifeng gets off the floor nice and high to create the steeper angle.
So game point number 3 for Lee.
21.
That was more positive, that last rally, from his point of view.
Yeah, he drew Brian Yang into that flat attack.
Game.
Well, he does get over the line. It was a bit of a
First
struggle
game
at
won by
times, but
China,
nonetheless,
23,
China
21.
strike first here.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Coaches, return to your chairs. Thank you. Second game, level. Play. One, love.
Good pick-up from Lee.
Service over, 1-all.
Yeah, he really had Li Shifeng in trouble, outstretched with that shot. That's clever as well. Good rally.
4.
I think there are a lot of positive signs
Service
that
over. 2,
Yang
1.
could take from that first game, even though he lost it. And one of them is that, as we mentioned, Lee has little periods where he looks invincible, but he looks like a genuine top
2-1.
5 player in the world, albeit it's ranked at 7. Other times where Yang was able to get on top of him. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the second game is just as close as the first. That's really good play, though, from the Chinese.
3-1.
Yeah, good accuracy. Pulling Yang into that defensive position. Difficult to recover from there. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the trick for Brian Yang is to identify when Li Shifeng has just taken his foot off the gas slightly and has dropped from top gear down to the one below, and for Yang to then take advantage.
Three, 1. Play.
It will take a very physically exhausting performance from Brian Yang, though, to win this match, to take us to a decider and get through.
Service over. 2, 3. Service over.
Saw a bit of a reaction there from Brian Yang. Disgusted with himself for missing the net shot. Yeah.
Wonderful. 5-2.
That is super aggressive. Li Shifeng. Cool, barely legal.
The shot before that set it up for Yang.
Service over. 3-5.
Yeah, Shifeng trying to be hyper-aggressive. He was expecting Brian Yang here to play at the front court. Good technique, short swing, short action with the lift.
Thank you.
Gets himself back in charge of the rally.
Thank you, Brian. Three, 5.
Well, very, very fortunate with that, to say the least. Literally hit the tape and trickled down the net. Remember, Lee had a big lead in the first game at halfway, 11-5 up he was. And in the end, it was a case of just crawling over the line.
You could see the intent.
4-6.
Yeah, I think the problem was, as soon as he realised that the shot he wanted to play, but when he got there, it was too late to play it. He just miscalculated that.
Yeah, think Yang's quality of that shot was a little higher than Feng was expecting. That's a good save, good rally. Well in.
Got to say, Brian Yang's defence today has been exemplary, hasn't it? And I think it's frustrated Li Shifeng on more than one occasion that he keeps hitting these decent overheads, jump smashes, and not getting through much of the time.
Thank you.
No, ever since the start, really, of the first game where we saw Li Shifeng hit all of those smash winners. Helped get him to the break at 11-5, but since then,
5-6.
Brian Yang's defense has been much better. I like that from Li Shifeng.
Service over, 7-5.
The speed of movements, the just ambition to get to this early. And hit powerfully down the line. Surprising Yang.
Well, that's chance missed.
Well, we're back to where
9-5.
we were at the very start of the match. Maybe a touch short from Yang, this one. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, just deceived by the shot.
Just the wrong side of the line from Li's point of view.
6-9.
He's there again.
Service over, 10-6.
That is lightning fast from Li Shifeng.
Oh, shot.
Service over, 7-10.
Seems to be, in general, more weight on Yang's jump smashes than on Li's.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when Li Shifeng's hit through Yang, it's been with not deception necessarily, but great technique to disguise which way you're going to hit, and then also very good accuracy. I'd agree. I think Yang's essentially got a slightly bigger smash.
Challenge here from the Chinese.
Hold out.
I think think he'll need a bit of luck on his side here, Li Shifeng.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like the call was correct, didn't it?
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 8-10. Lead, thank you. Play. Nine, 10.
We're in one of Lee's loss of focus phases, I think.
That's a nice shot.
Well, eventually he gets one through, and he does have the lead at the mid-game break, albeit a relatively narrow one.
I think he broke a string with this final kill. Really assertive, though, from Li Shifeng. Yep. Top of the racket.
Yep. Take it early, that was good. And you need to take it fast.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
And just get a timing like this. And also the clear and the lift cannot be too soft and straight. Yeah. If you
Coach.
go slow, get a little bit more positive. We're not going to go back and straight.
Coach, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
11-9. Play.
Oh, he's hit that round the head smash so well
12,
today, Li Shifeng.
9.
Dangerous from that corner.
Service over, 10-12.
A little bit of variation intended from Shifeng. Didn't quite get the weight right this time.
Service over, 13-10.
Thought we might have had a challenge there from Brian Yang. That looked close at first view. Yeah, that looked good. Li Shifeng back to his top gear aggression.
14-10. Thank you. Play.
Good reaction from the Chinese. That's a good rally to win. He's on a little run of points here.
Yeah, and good judgment too to let that land.
Good shot. He's got to be a little braver here, Brian Yang. He's got to have a little bit more intensity. Li Shifeng just last few minutes stepping up into a higher gear once more, and Yang needs to identify that and match the pace. A couple times there, he took more time than perhaps he could have in the rear court. He was certainly taking the net shots, the push shots, quite relaxed rather than
17.
early. He gets a bit of luck, I know, with the net court, but great touch from Li Shifeng.
Yeah, that's not going to do Brian Yang's mood any good. We saw a moment ago, slump of the shoulders when he missed a shot. Couldn't do anything about that. And Li Shifeng has the winning line in sight now. Yeah, it's a super shot again. Great angle.
6 straight points as well, I think, for
Thank you, Brian.
Chinese player.
Money for old Droke there. And just 2 points away now, the Chinese.
Oh, he's done it again, rolling off the net cord.
20, match point.
Wonderful
10.
touch.
Okay.
So, little matter of 10 match points for Li Shifeng. Well, you could see he just knew, didn't he, from the last, I don't know, 5 minutes of that match that he wasn't going to get any joy, Yang. A little bit frustrated, having put up such a good fight in the first game. But in the end, Li Shifeng comes through pretty comfortably, certainly in the second game.
Yeah, the scoreline was 12-10. Li Shifeng went up a gear, and Brian Yang allowed him to dominate. Good performance, solid performance from this man. Chinese team looking very strong in the tie.
Another look at the final point. Yang going well wide of the sideline. And Li Shifeng has put China in front now in the tie, having sacrificed a point with the withdrawal of Shi Yuqi. The defending champions now lead Canada by 2 matches to 1. (23-21), 21-10, 51 minutes, the match time. When we come back, it'll be the second of the doubles matches. He Jinting, Ren Chengyu up against Kieran Deraj and Daniel Leong in a moment. Warm welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Thomas and Uber Cup in 2026. We've had some absolutely glorious weather, it has to be said, in these parts. Unseasonably good. Still in April. Can always tell when spring has sprung. And we move on to our second doubles match of the day. Brings together He Jiting and Ren Chen-Yu. And they are up against Kieran Duraj and Daniel Leung from Canada. Remember, the Chinese now leading 2-1 in the tie. Just for the benefit of those who've joined us recently, Shi Yuqi had to scratch against Victor Lai, what would have been the opening match. The world number one is ill, so Canada got the point, but China have won the 2 matches since. Officials just arriving on court ahead of this doubles clash. Which means the players won't be far behind.
Now, in court number 1, the tie between China and Canada. Withdrawal second match double. China, represented by He Jiting and Ren Chen-Yu.
Chinese will be first out. There they are.
Great to see these two back and involved in the national setup after a break through a lot of 2025. Bit of a scandal, actually, as the Federation removed them from the Sudirman Cup and the Asian Championships last year after some disciplinary issues with He Jiting.
Here come the Canadians, Kieran Duraj at the front, with Daniel Leung just behind him. Very much a scratch pairing this, so he would make the Chinese very, very warm favourites.
Yeah, I think these two played in a Pan Am team event once together. I think they played 1 match ever as a pair, but it's not on the BWF World Tour.
Black. This side. Yep. Sorry. Then serve. Receive.
Jakob Sindberg of Denmark is the man in charge of this doubles encounter. These players on much earlier than they would have expected. It's only 10:30 local time. But obviously that scratching in the first men's singles has kind of put everything out of kilter a little bit. So let's give you some information about this quartet, starting with the Chinese pair. He Jiting is 28 now. And as Bobby was explaining, you need to ignore that number 9 ranking.
99.
99, I beg your pardon, yeah. The number 4 ranking is much more relevant. That was back in October 24 before they had their enforced absence. 7 World Tour titles he's won, He Jiting, 5 of them with this man, Ren Chen-Yu. And it would be very surprising, to say the least, if the Canadian pair could get competitive for them. This is their debut in the tournament. Didn't play against Australia. And on the other side of the net, Kieran Duraj and Daniel Leung. He usually plays with Victor Ho does Diraj, who isn't here. It's actually the first time Diraj has played doubles this year, which gives you some idea that the Canadian's taking a bit of a chance. Leon got to the semi-finals of the Guatemala International last year. Normally plays with Neil Yakura, who is here, but they aren't together, obviously. It is fascinating the way that the coaches and the managers kind of mix up the pairs in this tournament.
Yeah, I think I would imagine it's a case of giving two young players a chance to play at a top level against top opposition to gain that experience.
Yeah, Diraj 23, Daniel Leong's just 20.
Kieran, take your straps in on the backside.
And the Chinese pair, I mean, an absence, as we've discussed, but came back with a great performance at the Asia Championships, got to the semi-finals after beating Man and Kai of Malaysia along the way. They beat their teammates, Liang and Wang, in the quarter-final of the Asian Championships this year.
On my right, China, represented by He Yiting and Ren Xiangyu. And on my left, Canada, represented by Kiran Milandaraj and Daniel Leong. Canada to serve, Daniel Leong to He Yiting. Level, play.
So here we go, in the second of the doubles. Going to see a lot of that, I think.
1-love.
Always been a great exponent of disguise, Ren Xiangyu.
Fierce pace to the rally. I'm hoping these two, the Canadians, maintain their confidence and sort of take it to the Chinese pair. We could be in for a really exciting looking match. Oh, what a bit of flair, flamboyance at the net. Look at this final shot. There's one. Here we go. Oh, I didn't quite get to see the finish.
The brush followed by the backhand.
Yeah.
You do fear a little bit for Diraj and Leong if the scoreboard gets very one-sided, because the Chinese are good front runners. On the board. Good shot.
1-4.
Yeah, just going back to that Asian Championships, I mean, they beat top pair for China, Liang Wenkang, Wang Chang, we saw them earlier. Beat them in straight games in the quarters. In the semi-finals, in the second game, they took Kim Won-ho and Sursen Jay to extra points. That's the level, really, we're talking about, despite that ranking of 99 in the world.
Yeah, well done, Diraj.
3-4.
Stood his corner there, went toe-to-toe, came out on top in that rally. That's 3 out the back already from the Canadians in this opening game.
Nice backhand. Fierce. It's in.
That one did land in.
7-7. 4-5.
Well served.
5 all. Feng. Service over. 6-5.
Yeah, just flicked off Dhiraj's racket.
So much quality on that backhand from He Ting.
Please welcome the technical officials for part number 2.
Service over. 6-7. Service over. 8-6.
Really fast pace to the match so far.
Oh, yeah. That was landing well in, but he didn't realise that until very late in the day. Probably played that from, you know, a couple of feet off the floor.
That's lovely.
10-6.
Sending both Canadians the wrong way.
Number 2, the tie between Chinese Taipei and Korea. Please welcome second and singles, Chinese Taipei represented by Chi Yu-Yang.
Service over. 7-10.
17 points in just 6 minutes.
But a sizable deficit for the Canadians, 11-7 at the mid-game break.
The opponent, Korea, represented by Choi Hee-ho.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Eleven, 7. Play. Service foul call. Too high. Service over.
That's the first one of this match. I think we had one in one of our previous matches, but they're pretty strict on it, though. They seem to be, this tournament. A whole spater than yesterday. Yeah, well played. Only 20, Daniel Young, but he looks a decent prospect. He had a couple of those winners already.
He's fired up for this. See the way he high-fived his teammate after that went in.
Service over. 12-9.
Half chance there for Daniel Young. Clever. Super aggressive.
14-9.
And of course, if the Chinese pair win this match, they will secure the tie as well.
15-9.
We'll still have one match to play, obviously, against India, but effectively they'd have 1 foot and 4 toes in the quarterfinal.
10-15.
Well, they need all the help they can get. Handy net cord.
Ought to be an interesting lineup, actually, an interesting match or tie between China and India.
Service over.
Depending on the order of play.
16-11.
Ayush Shetty and Lakshya Sen.
Yeah.
Very capable. And, of course, you've got Ranki Reddy and Shetty, who will cause some problems for Liang and Wang. I wasn't necessarily convinced earlier by the doubles performance from China in the first match.
Definitely not. Yeah, Lee and Lindemann gave them all kinds of problems. So it might come down to the third singles or the second doubles potentially in that match.
Yeah. Really good play.
Service over.
They combined so well together.
17-12.
These two.
On my right, Chinese technique represented by Ji Uyen.
Just, for me, a matter of time before they're inside the top 10, maybe even top 5 in the world again.
18-12.
Level. Flight.
Good touch.
Service over.
Even better reply.
13-18. Service over. 19-13.
Too much pace in the attack from the Chinese. Very rare the Canadians will come up against this type of speed.
So after only 12 minutes play, here are 7 game points
13.
for He and Ren. That might have been sneaking out. He played it anyway.
Service over. 14-20.
You don't see that many players playing in a pair of spectacles, do you?
No, very few.
Oh, it's gone wide.
China challengers called out.
I think he did brilliantly to get it as close as he did. I think it might have just missed the line, but
Let's get it
really
over the net.
good at the body.
Yeah. This would be a terrific shot if this caught the edge of the paint.
Challenge unsuccessful.
It did not.
1 challenge remaining. 15-20. Play.
Well, it was very straightforward, very efficient, and pretty comprehensive too. 21-15. The first game goes to He and Ren, and the Chinese in charge early in this second doubles.
另外一个就是防止左场平手，只要拉开，但是第二个就是吊球，他没有连续能力，所以拉可以往前低一点，从这条线再往前低一点，然后右场地防守不是很强的，但是他们就起来以后一样就扯过来，把我对上球速度好。发球注意质量啊，当然投下来还挺快。
You take a backhand, you go to the backhand side. Or if you're too late, you put it out, you get some defense, no problem. Yeah. Okay, just the front two options. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah, it's good.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game, double, play.
3, 4.
Oh, that's a better looking rally for the Canadian pair.
1 love. Service ball goal, too high. Service over.
Yeah, just as Daniel Lulung let go of the shuttle, he was leaning back, his racket therefore higher than the legal 115 centimetres.
Please welcome the technical officials for court number 3.
Three, 1.
That's good quality from He Jiting. That's the trick and the key quite often in the doubles. The build-up to those final two shots. He Jiting able to control the shuttle to the forecourts without giving away the advantage.
5-1.
India, represented by Prannoy HS.
Service over. 2-5.
An air shot. It might be a second one we've seen from Jiting.
Service over. 6-2.
Kind of following a familiar pattern, isn't it? This second game to the first. Chinese just too efficient in all aspects of the game at the moment.
Tried the trick shot.
Service over. 3-6.
Confident play from Diraj.
Was it yours, mine, sorry moment, that, wasn't it?
It was. Made a strong move to go and play the shot, He Jiting, and then pulled out.
Service over. 7-4.
He's just borderline with the height of that serve. Daniel Lung.
8-4.
Oh, so good.
9-4.
The position he was in, the body shape, what he was looking for, everything was spot on. Not hanging around, are they still?
Yeah, it looks a nigh on unassailable lead, doesn't it, at the break, unless something extraordinary happens. 11-4. Per and Ren in cruise control here.
You don't want to force it from here, you drive it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay?
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Switch over.
11-4. Play.
8-9.
Well, double quick time this match so far, just 20 minutes in. And the Chinese pair scoring points seemingly at will at the moment.
Oh.
No, except in that fashion.
5,
Total
12.
misjudgment from Ren.
Switch over. 10-8.
Clash of rackets. Didn't sound good. Oy.
Service over. 13.
Almost
5.
on every occasion, as soon as He Jiting is able to step in and take this kind of shot from the service line, that time a clean winner, but sometimes it might take 2 or 3 shots, but when he's in that position, he's so hard to then find a way out in defence.
14-5.
Electric pace, isn't it, this match? The time, the speed at which they're moving.
Service over. 6-14.
Well, he's grinning, but that was a wild miss.
That's nicely done.
14.
Can't fault Daniel Leong's enthusiasm, can you?
20 seconds.
Service over.
11-8.
Exquisite touch that from He Jiting.
Play.
Well played.
Service over. 8-15.
12-8.
Superb defence.
Service over. 16-8.
Had the Canadians running all over the court in that rally, chasing shadows, really.
It's a little bit of disparity at time between the two Canadian players. Get the feeling when one of them makes an early move, the other one's not backing them up.
17.
Just a little bit of a breakdown in communication. You mentioned almost a scratch pairing, and it's sort of on show at times. They haven't trained enough together at a high pace, a high level.
Well, the end is nigh here, isn't it? It's just been completely outclassed, really, the Canadians in this contest.
I see so much potential with these two players. Maybe not necessarily as a pair together, or perhaps they'll decide that is the future, and they'll get some work done in training to make themselves... There you go. Unorganised, essentially.
19.
If they can sort that out, they could be pretty good. Oh, just so much quality.
20, match point 8.
So, 12 chances here to seal the deal.
Service over. 9, 20.
3, 8.
That'll do. That'll do. Inside half an hour, 21-9 in a one-sided match. And He Jiting and Ren Xiangyu come through very comfortably indeed, and also in doing so secure the tie for China. 2 wins out of 2
Match won by
for
China,
the defending champions.
21-15, 21-9.
And the point that they, or the match they have conceded in this tie, obviously was the scratching of Shi Yuqi. So on course at the moment for defence of the title they won a couple of years ago in Chengdu.
Yeah, fantastic performance from these two Canadians, simply unable to live with the pace.
Learning experience, really, for the two Canadians. You can't buy the chance to play against 2 of the best doubles players on the planet. So 21-15, 21-9, only 26 minutes on court. Up next, it's the final match of this tie. It's the third singles, bringing together Wang Hongyang and Timothy Locke in a moment. Well, a warm welcome back to our continuing coverage from Horsens. And if you've never been to this part of the world, it's well worth the trip. Very quiet, even though it's the 7th biggest city in Denmark. But some beautiful countryside to enjoy, especially when the weather's good, as it has been here. We move on to our 3rd singles match, albeit we've only played, would have played 2 by the end of this. Wang Hongyang up against Timothy Locke. Just waiting for the officials to come onto court, and they are just about there, which means the players will follow on behind very shortly. Just a reminder that we do have live coverage of Court 2 as well. And then at 12 o'clock, or not before 12 o'clock, Japan will face England on number 1 court. That's also a Thomas Cup tie. So here comes Wang Hongyang. Just about clinging to a spot inside the world's top 15.
Canada, represented by Timothy Locke.
Here comes Locke, following on behind. No surprise these two have never met.
Yeah, he's being given the run out today in favour of his higher-ranked teammate Josh Nguyen, who played against India in the opening tie. So a great experience for Tim Locke.
Okay. Canada get the toss. Black or red? Black, red for black. You receive. You want that side? You receive.
Canada's last match will be against Australia in a couple of days, while China will face India. That looks to be a fascinating battle upcoming. But first things first, let's have a look at Wang Hongyang's stats. He's 26 now. He has been inside the top 10, and pretty recently, only September of last year, the left-hander was in the squad that won Thomas Cup gold 2 years ago. He's got a Sudirman Cup gold as well from last year, and 7 World Tour titles, including a Super 1000 event, which he won at the China Open a couple of years ago. Didn't play against Australia, so it's his debut here this year. And did win a couple of tournaments last year, actually. One in Switzerland and one on home soil on the China Masters. Well, as for Timothy Locke, only 20 years of age, he's still looking to win his first game this year. Went out of the Pan Am Championships in the round of 32, and way down at 142 on the rankings, as you can see. And rather like for Dheeraj and Lung earlier, Bobby, I think it's as much about gaining some experience and maybe learning a little bit from playing a top-class player.
Absolutely, he's a big underdog today in terms of the match and the tie. But there's so much to be said for playing against a player like Wang Hongyang, who can be terrific. I mean, as proven, as you mentioned, by winning that China Open a while back and the China Masters more recently, which is no mean feat.
Ready to play?
White.
Wang.
17.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, China, represented by Wang Hongyang. And on my left, Canada, represented by Timothy Law. China to serve. Level. Play.
So here we go, fifth match of the tie.
Korea, 21-17.
Second game, level. White.
One, love.
Good opening exchange for the most part, and until the mistake from Locke right at the end.
Two, love.
Well, that's a nice shot. That'll get him going.
Over. 1, all.
I thought actually he acquitted himself pretty well in the first round, even though he lost the point.
2, 1.
Good judgment. Has to keep those errors under control, doesn't he, today?
Service over. 2, all.
At least make Chinese player win it.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
That's lovely.
Service over. 3, 2.
3.
Second game. Level. Play.
Surface over. 3, all.
I think all three of Wang Hongyang's points so far have been from Locke's racket.
1 lock. 4, 2.
Four, 3.
6 over. 3, 4.
2 lock.
Fault. 5, 3.
5, 3.
Little change of angle at the last moment. Clever shot.
That's 2 or 3 at the back already from the Canadian.
6.
Quite got his range yet.
3 lock.
Fault. Service over. 4, 6.
4 lock.
Nice. Yeah, really good net shot to set up that opportunity.
Wipe the court, please. 5.
Nice winning smash
6.
as well. Accuracy over power.
Service over. 5, 7.
Timothy, can you check?
2,
Thank you, London. Five, six.
6, 7.
He's played some lovely net shots.
Surface over.
Well, he's certainly come out confidently, hasn't he? He doesn't look at all overawed by the occasion or the opponent. Just a bit too wide with that one.
Yeah, he's missed a couple in those tram lines and a few at the back as well. If he can find a way to control those, might make for an interesting opening game at least. Still think Wang Hongyang's got an attacking gear to go into if he wants to, and highlighted just there.
Service over. 9, 7.
Nine, 5,
3. Service over. 8, 1.
Service over. 6, 9.
Lively return of serve.
Service over. 10, 8.
Hold.
Well, that's a stunning shot.
9.
Not a tall man, but he gets great spring and serious racket speed as well.
Thank you, London. Players on court. 7, 9. Service over.
What a deception.
7.
Service over. 9, 10.
On the line.
China challenges.
Close this, I think. Understand the challenge.
Correction out. 6, 7. 11, 7. Interval.
So handy lead, not an unexpected one for one. 11-7 at the mid-game break.
And then use a little deception on him because he's kind of leaning.
Yep. On the front full control, you have to be more active. Because he's holding to pick him and also very fast because you know you're going to do the backing, so he doesn't give you a chance. So you try to get the pressure at the front foot. Right? You mix it up with the push, bring him up. Okay.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Eleven, 7. Play. 12, 7.
Challenge Unsuccessful.
Service over.
He's been dangerous so far. Timothy Locke from that forehand rear corner.
Right.
Service over. 12.
9, 7.
9, 12.
Thank you.
Good recovery. It's under real pressure from the return of serve.
9, 7.
Service over. 13, 9.
Pretty comprehensive in the end from Hong Yang.
Turns over. 8, 9.
Service over. 10, 13.
It's a shame. Managed to work the rally so that he got the short lift. Was unable to convert with the follow-up couple of shots here.
Yeah, he had Wong exactly where he wanted him, didn't he? But that was a big error and a long way beyond the back line too.
10, 8.
17, 11.
Lovely.
Well, it was right in the hitting zone, wasn't it? It wasn't the greatest shot that Locke's ever played. Open invitation, which is never going to be refused.
Yeah, just rifled down the line. Yeah, that's nice. Great touch.
16, 10.
Just Locke paying the price for a shot that was not quite perfect in pace or in position on the court.
2, 20 seconds.
Just starting to look a little dispirited now, isn't he, Locke?
11, 8.
You know what he must do, Trevor?
Go on.
He's got to try and find the key, hasn't he?
See what you did there.
Yeah, but you're right. This body language suggests he's sort of
18,
now going
10.
through the motions. It's been pretty competitive in parts, though. I think he's capable of surprising Wang Hongyang, who may underestimate his opponent.
11, 18.
Bit of guile. That forehand.
Thank you.
9, 13.
Wait. 11, 18.
Just too good
Service
again
over.
from Wang.
19-11.
Yeah, I think if he'd have opted just to play the early net shots, he would have put Locke in just as much danger. Locke had both of those corners, the long diagonal to cover. He's in real trouble. It's a good shot.
Service over.
He's played a few classy winners, hasn't he, Locke?
90.
His problem is that he's been unable to stem the tide of winning shots coming from the other side of the net. And Wang doesn't really look like he's broken sweat yet.
Good touch. Just brilliant, actually, to get a very good length on this lift.
13-19.
Nice that Locke was able to convert.
17.
10-14.
Thank you, line judge. (13-19).
Good play. That's a good rally.
Wipe the court, please. 14-19. Foul. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Underestimated the quality from Locke, I think, with that attempt at finishing the rally. Also tried to be a little deceptive and made it even more difficult for himself, Wang.
19. Service over.
So, game points here, 6 of them
14.
for the Chinese.
I'd like to know whether Wang Hongyang is actually playing within himself so far, or whether he is really being pushed. It's hard to tell.
I think there's something in your statement, the former. I think he looks like, you know, 80%.
Good return.
Made it.
Service over. 15-20.
Good pickup.
It just turns defence into attack so quickly and so efficiently, and he takes down the opening game 21-15, a game in which Timothy Locke was far from disgraced. 18 minutes to match time, and Wang leads by 1 game to none.
From the Canadian team will be signing autographs and giving a meet and greet in the family fan zone up front in the white tent.
You can mix up with the drive. Try to put some crossfield, okay? So use some side, mix up the piece. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay? Keep it going. That was good.
Exactly.
但是他跑动起来，他最后其实感觉你只要顶住就行，你不要自己莫名其妙的 失误啊什么的，因为我打这种快点处理，快点处理，啊，你自己那你不是你要杀的更多，杀上网那个质量不好的话，那么你不是会更喘吗？是吧？第一场球也正常。啊，严谨点啊。
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Now, court number 3, tie between India and Australia. Please welcome second men's doubles. India, presented by Horsens, Stefan, and M.R. Arjun.
Second game.
The opponent,
Level.
Australia, presented by Nika Ramadhansyah, Ikram Stephen Sam.
So what you would think could well be the denouement here of this tie. See whether Timothy Locke has something to say about that.
Yeah, I hope he starts the second game better than he started the first. I think I counted 5 out of Wang Hongyang's 6 opening points were all mistakes from Tim Locke. And I think this early stage of game 2 will really set the tone for how the rest of it plays out, because I've just got the feeling Wang Hongyang had a little more to give if he wanted at times.
15-18.
Oh, that's lovely.
Service over. 1-4.
Falling backwards off balance to create that accuracy is impressive.
19-15.
Terrific net shot. Oh, he lets Wang off the hook there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that disguise was the shot, was it? Middle of that rally. He had his opponent somewhat exposed in the middle of the court. Could have gone with power.
Yeah.
Maybe just a bit of inexperience by Locke.
A little roll of the eyes from Locke as tried to vary that return of serve. Wang Hongyang was more than ready. Oh, body language for me now. Locke looks like he's almost accepted his fate, but we're so early on in game 2, long way to go yet.
We saw a little bit of that, didn't we, in the back end of the first game from him. I think that's when the coaches need to, you know, just try and pick him up a little bit. You almost forget the scoreline, just play. So quick to see that opportunity.
5-1.
Yeah, and that's what we didn't actually see an awful lot of in the first. I think he does have that extra gear. Just stick the afterburners on when he needs them. It's a good play. Yeah, it's a great point about accepting or sort of ignoring the score.
Service over.
Just play each point for what it is.
5.
That's great play again from Wang.
He's got a great badminton brain, hasn't he, as well as the actual racket skills. Okay, a little bit of good fortune with the net ball. He knew exactly where to put
another
that.
one here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he doesn't. I thought he did. He does. You're absolutely right, Sam. When I first saw him play a few years ago at a big event, I was so impressed with his maturity, composure on court.
Right leg. London.
18,
London.
20, ladies and gentlemen. On my right, India represented by Harinara Second game won by Chinese Taipei 21-18. One game more.
6-2.
Good defense.
7-2.
Yeah, it's difficult, that shot there. Had to turn his body 90 degrees to get out of the way, to leave room for the forehand.
He just looks totally resigned to his fate, doesn't he? A lot now.
He does, and it's a... it would be a shame if he sort of gave up, if you like. Good play. Better.
Over. 3-8.
And as you say, forget the score and use the experience, learn what you can.
20 seconds.
I think if he gave his absolute best, really fired up and full of focus, may still lose the game, it might be close. But he'd have that extra time on court and really know where he is in the sort of pecking order of things. Good defense.
London, white the court, please. Service over. 9-3.
Did well to keep that in court. Hong Yang.
But that was very, very impetuous, that shot. Missed it by a long way. And he'd set it up beautifully. The shot previously was perfect. I think there might be a little bit of impatience as well. Kind of us settling into his head here.
Service over. 4-9. Service over. 10-4.
Certainly too many mistakes.
1-4.
Well, it's a big lead, isn't it now? 11-4 as they go for the mid-game break.
tog Victor Leje autografer ude i Family Fanzone. Victor Leje er første herrsingen på Canadas hold, men kom desværre ikke til at spille i dag, da Kina måtte trække sig.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Når kampen blev vendt ud af spil.
Coach, return to your chair. Hong Yang, one. Inside the box, thank you. Eleven, 4. Play. 12, 4.
Well, that was very, very difficult for Locke to deal with, right at the body, at pace. Golfing class, showing for all to see here at the moment. Well, it has done from pretty much the first point, to be fair.
I actually think Locke has the game to at least compete. If he'd played a number of tournaments on the World Tour, I've no doubt his ranking would be a lot higher than it is. But I just think he has shown a lot of impatience, been a bit too keen to find the lines with some of his attacking shots. That's excellent.
Service over. 15.
Yeah, and you also get the feeling that Wang Hongyang's nowhere near top gear. Hasn't had to be, but it's been a really impressive performance from the world number 15.
Thank you. 15, 5. 17.
I mean, he'll have one eye on the Olympic Games, and he has to get, obviously, higher in the Chinese men's rankings. Limit on how many players can go for each country. Well, he's just getting the run around now, isn't he, Timothy Locke?
16, 5.
3, 8.
Just couldn't get up quick enough.
Players on board. $16, 5.
9, 3.
$17, 5.
Ambitious.
Yeah, you kind of almost feel he just wants to get off the court, to be honest, at this point.
I think some of his choices I'd question. I believe he's absolutely got the ability to lengthen a lot of these rallies.
18, 5.
At times, you just need to accept that you're under pressure and play a shot that gets you out of trouble and restart, get back to a neutral base. And I think too often he tries the ambitious shot. And it's making the scoreline looking
19-5.
more one-sided than it could have been. That's a good backhand. gone wide.
So match points, as many as he'll
Match
need
point 5.
for Wang Hongyang.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Well, it was an exhibition at times. Timothy Look just couldn't live with the class of Wang Hongyang. 21-5 in that second game, and that was probably a fair reflection.
Match won by
Match that
China.
lasted just over half an hour.
21-5.
Tougher assignments to come, of course, for the Chinese, but you can only beat the man on the other side of the net, and that's what he's done comprehensively.
Yeah, and in terms of the tie, block, stock and barrel.
A little bit of a damp squib ending, really, from Locke's point of view, at least. Super shot from the Chinese. Hardly got a blow in. The 20-year-old. And he wins 21-15, 21-5. Only 34 minutes required. Well, it's been plain sailing, despite the fact that Shi Yuqi had to withdraw. All the other matches finishing 2-love. Only resistance briefly from Lee and Lindemann in the first of the doubles, and then from Brian Yang in the first game of the first singles. 4-1, final score. Coming up on this court, it's Japan-England. Guy McCree, Ben Beckman with that one, and then Denmark-Ukraine later. For now, though, from me, Trevor Harris, for Bobby Griffin and our whole production cast and crew here in Horsens, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Fight. That's over. 4-1. Five.